could meet anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why?
I'd have to say Tony Robbins.
Oh,
You heard of Tony Robbins?
of course, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, not everybody has.
Really?
Surprise. Um, he's responsible for why I do what I do, right? I listen to his teachings. I listen to his story. I've been to so many events. I've traveled overseas to go to some of his events, and they have definitely helped me become the person I am. But more importantly, or maybe most importantly, helped me become the business person that I am. And what I mean by that is the way that I teach people. I was sort of always struggling because I was mostly in that finance space.
Mhm.
And it was the working on the Tony Robbins information that helped me be able to realize, hang on a minute, I can do this differently. I can do this better. I can do this in a way that's going to reach more people, resonate with more people. So he was the one who, I guess, inspired me to actually step out of finance and totally into, so stop straddling both camps, but
Mm.
step totally into business advice. So yeah, so I'd love to meet him. I was also thinking, I'd love to meet, have you ever listened to the Smartless podcast?
Andrew listens to it, so
Yeah, he put me onto it, right? We're always talking about it, right?
yeah.
But the three hosts of that, so Jason Bateman, one of my all-time favorite actors. I just rate him so highly. Will Arnett and Sean Hayes. And they just laugh so much. And sometimes I just think, I wish I was hanging out with them
Yeah.
because they just laugh so much and have so much fun. So I wouldn't mind meeting them. And also, and this is, I'm going to get a bit deeper on this one. I would love to meet, I've met so many great people. But I'd love to meet somebody who has chosen to die for something that they believe in. I'd love to pick their brain and understand what was going on when they made a decision to die for what they believe in. And I'm not talking about a person, but I'd die. There's so many people I would die for, right? I'd take a bullet for you, Jen. No problems at all. No worries. I wouldn't even think twice about it. But I'm thinking about, people when they've got a strong belief and where it would be so easy. And I reckon I go, yeah, yeah, no, I don't believe that anymore. Right? Yep, yep, cool. Yeah, fine. But they've gone, no, I believe in this so strongly. I will let you kill me rather than, what's the word? Deny it. Yeah. So, I would love to, I just think there's a strength there that I would love to understand more about. So, yeah.
Okay, I've never ever even thought of that before. So I have to listen to that back to really let it sink in, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, just understanding that concept. I was lucky enough to meet Ndaba Mandela, who is the grandson of Nelson Mandela. And I actually asked him, I said, I was talking about legacy and, what is that like to live up to?
Yeah.
Because, of what Nelson Mandela did. And, he's somebody who was willing to die. He's spent so many years in prison. Rather, he could have just gone, yeah, okay, sorry, I didn't mean it, right? But he didn't. And Zaba Mandela was talking about how he believes, knowing his grandfather didn't really even see it as a choice or an issue. This was a problem, a massive problem. The problem was affecting him. So he didn't see any other way to do it. Now that's one perspective, but like who chooses those things rather than the easy option? And I would
Oh,
love to understand that strength.
yeah. No, I understand what you mean.
I don't know. It's kind of, yeah, it's so interesting to me.
It's now interesting to me because I've never even thought about it that way. Thank you for sharing.
I also, I talk about my Catholic upbringing. If ever I need to do something hard,
Yeah.
I always equate it. I think about the saints and the martyrs that were skinned alive, and I go, "You're not being skinned alive."
Yes. It's like
I don't know bar for success, but
the
it
advice.
got me through a lot of PT sessions.
Yeah, the advice that you gave me this morning, I'm not sure if it even relates to it, but I'm relating it to it is my anxiety around speaking and doing these interviews. And you said, well, just remember it's not heart surgery. You know, you so
All all the time
I'm
when
not
I'm
a heart surgeon. It's okay. No one's.
not going to die because I didn't make that phone call today,
Yes.
or I didn't solve that problem for them today. I didn't know the answer to that. I'm not a freaking heart surgeon. Perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. Changing the perspective. I think that's what you're mostly good at doing. You know how to, yeah, you find a different way at looking at things, and you make it seem easy and look easy, but oh my God, it just changed. Yeah.
It's always easy after it's been hard.
Yeah. True.
Now, as I said, I didn't answer the question before about how long it took me to get to that point where I was completely confident speaking. Years, right? But every time I did it, I was more confident than the last time. And I don't know if you know the story about Thomas Edison, who was, with the light bulb. Well, he failed thousands of times because thousands of times it didn't work. And somebody asked him in an interview once, that must have been really soul crushing. I'm paraphrasing here, right? And he said no, because every time it didn't work, that was one thing I could tick off and go on to the next thing. Right. And so I feel like that with anything, and speaking is no different. Every time I did it, I was more confident than the time before. And I brought something new to it and something better to it every single time I did it.
You learn from every experience. Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
you hope you learn from the
Well, you can learn from
You
every
can
experience.
learn.
You can choose not to, and that's your right as well. But yeah, you can learn from every experience.
Is there anything that you'd like to add that you think could help me or anyone listening?
This is probably the most powerful thing I can share today is no matter what you want to achieve, whether it's public speaking, communicating better, I don't know, building a bridge, metaphorically and literally, whatever it is you want to get better at, the fastest and easiest way to success is modeling somebody else who has already achieved it. So for me, I talked about Tony Robbins.
Yes.
So what did I do? I didn't try and do all the work that Tony Robbins did. I listened to all his lessons, right? I listened to what worked for him, what works, what doesn't work. So it's the same as like if you are if what you want to achieve, I know after Christmas, a lot of people want to achieve, they might want to lose a little bit of weight, right? Model somebody who's already been through that journey and lost the weight, not the person who you go, well, let's do this together, right? Model yourself on the person who's already done it. Fitness is another one. Model yourself on the person who's already fit, not the person who's equally as unfit as you. And I tell this to my business owners all the time. Find a role model and do what they do. I mean, you don't have to do everything they do, but the fastest way to success is to model the behaviors of somebody who already has that. So that's the power of mentors as well. But aim high, right? Aim high. Sometimes my business owners will go, oh, Apple. Go, yeah, but why would Apple have done really well, right? So why wouldn't you still model yourself on whatever resonates with you in business? So yeah, so that's probably my best advice.
I love that is the perfect advice. And the reason why I feel like it is the best advice is because I wanted to finish off this conversation with something very similar. And so I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I do a lot of personal growth
development.
Mm-hmm. And I always hear, find a mentor. The closest 5 people in your life are
define you. Yeah.
Define
people you spend the most the people 5 people you spend the most time with. Yeah, absolutely. That defines you. Yeah.
It does, absolutely. And a few years ago, I'm not sure if you remember, but a few years ago, you offered me advice with my business and help. And in the moment, I think I clearly wasn't ready for it. And I was probably pride and ego was stopping me, or
yeah, that's everybody. Yeah.
And only now or recently, I have realized the opportunity that I missed in that moment. And so I now see you as a mentor, and I realize that all the things that you have achieved in life is something that I aspire to and aspire to be. And so anything that I can learn from you, I'm all ears, and it truly is from like the bottom of my heart. I'm honored to have you on today and learn anything that I can learn from you. So I
Oh,
appreciate
thanks, Jen. That warms my heart so much because my mission in life, and I'm able to do it through my business, but my mission in life is I mentioned before that credibility was a real issue for me. I was, 5 foot female in business and finance, and I looked like I was 14. There's a lot of F's against me, right? And
yeah,
so I did it really hard.
yeah.
And it was great. I achieved success, but now I want to be able to help other women do it easier and faster than what I did it. So, if I can help in any way, then you're helping me achieve my life's mission.
Oh, well, thank you. Again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your
Thanks
day.
for
Like,
having
I know
me.
you're a busy lady, and no, I think a lot of people can learn from you today, and I know I definitely have learned so much. And you definitely are a mentor, and I hope to learn a lot more from you. And yeah,
Oh, thank you. Just keep letting me play with my niece and nephew, and you can have
anytime,
free.
babysitter at the same time.
That's right, exactly.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Jen. I love what you're doing. I think this is really great work for yourself and for others. And I think it's fierce. I think it's fearless, and good on you for doing it. And I remember one other quote I want to give you
Go.
and everybody else:
Go.
don't let perfect get in the way of better.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Thank you so much for finishing with that.